Hi there, Whitney from WSS EQUESTRIAN. In today's video, let's talk about the Sydney Royal Easter Show entries process. So I'm going to run through with you my steps and everything that I take into consideration and I think about and I plan and I map so that I'm organised, ready to go to enter the classes I wish to enter with my horse at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. So for starters, let's talk about my 6 dot points that I have accumulated and put together for beginners or people that have never entered or are just starting to think about entering the Sydney Royal Easter Show. I've put these 6 important aspects of applying for the Sydney Royal Easter Show into this video in this dot pointed order to help you get organised, get thinking, get planning and get on the path to entering the Sydney Royal. So point number 1 is a horse. Obvious, you need a horse or a pony to compete on. So point number 2 is the performance period. Point number 3 is our shows, like you need shows. Point number 4 is achievements. Point number 5 is a record book. And point number 6 is a laptop or a computer. So let's jump into the information and the important parts of each of those dot points I have just listed for you. So with a horse or a pony, you know, whatever you choose to show, it's really important, like I've heard it explained to me before by some Royal Grand National showies, one of them that works at my local produce store. He says the Sydney Royal is not a big gymkhana. It is the elite, the top, Australia's best, you know, everyone goes there with really high quality horses. So that's where it's important to self-assess, look at your situation, look at your horse, have mentors, seek advice, find out whether or not your horse is cut out for showing or not. Go do your own research. Don't take word for word of other people. Like I've been told, oh, Teddy's too old, oh, blah, blah, he's 10, don't worry about it. By other fellow showies who have obviously got shit on their liver and, you know, don't want me to show him because he is a quality horse. All those sorts of things. So you gotta be very careful who you talk to, who you trust. Don't take everything so seriously. Take things as a grain of salt. Yeah, and just maneuver your way through the show community in that regard. Don't take everyone's negativity on board. I was told I should shoot Teddy. I should take him to the sale yards and just sell him because he's old and because he had ulcers, and ulcers are going to be so expensive to treat. Oh, this lady said it cost her $1,000 to treat her stupid stock horse that she shows, so I should go shoot my horse because, oh, it's going to cost me too much money to sort him out. Well, let me tell you, it is not that big of a process. Cost me, I think it was like $200. I got a whole complete vet check at the end of 2018 with Teddy. I knew he was something wrong with him. Went and got his vet check done, got his teeth done, and then the vet was like, yeah, he's got ulcers, treated him for ulcers. Mind you, we're in the bloody drought down here in the central western New South Wales. And anyways, and I obviously, at the time I didn't understand feeding and not giving him enough, you know, 1 biscuit was in the morning and at night wasn't enough, had to do more because literally his paddock was dirt, blah, blah, blah. So of course he accumulated and ended up with ulcers and the stressing of showing on his own, being traveling and all that. So it was a big accumulation of all this stuff. And anyways, so it was like $200 vet check at my local vets, and then it ended up being 230 something like that for the ulcer guard. What we treated Teddy with ended up being $400 on the vet side of things. So there's my little gripe whinge. Yeah, and I never will ever again go near that lady in the show ring because I have no time for her. Horrible, really horrible experience to just have to stand there and have this lady at a show tell me that I needed to shoot my horse because it's got ulcers, too expensive. Yet I go and do my own research and I fix him and I work him all out. Bada bing, bada boom. It's really not that hard when a horse has ulcers. So anyways, you gotta be really careful who you deal with and who you talk to and who you associate with. It's just really, really important, guys. That's just a quick, we won't go any further because there's not really much to say, but yeah, that's all I've got to say, guys. Don't take all the negativity on board because there is positivity, but you get all these people that are just jealous and small-minded, so be very, very, very selective who you talk to when it comes to your showing dreams with your horse pony. So let's go back. Confirmation. So at the end of the day, showing is, yes, we've got geldings now, like showing way back in the day, it wasn't showing you take your horse to a show, I guess, in history, and you'd parade your stallion or your mare and with other horses like in the same breed and category, blah blah blah, and people would choose the best conformation, the most well put together horse, stallion, mare, nat to breed with, because you want to breed on the good effects. You don't, physical effects. You don't want to breed on the defects, the horrible conformation. You want to make a nice, well put together horse, not a shabby thing that's going to be unsound and not work hard out in the fields and whatnot. So that's where showing comes from. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, to show our horses. Yes, we love our horses. Some are not well put together conformation wise, and they don't perform, and they're not an ideal show horse, whereas others are put together, luckily, by DNA and all that jazz, put together, beautiful show horse, and they can perform, they're not sound, they don't have no issues like that, and that's what you want as a show horse. So you've really got to do research. There's lots of information on the internet about conformation of the bone structure, how the horses stands and whatnot, and you'll get a grips with all your research, rather than waiting for someone to let you know whether they think your horse is good or not, be it be the truth if it is or isn't. It's really important to do your own research about conformation. That is really, really big part of showing horses, and that's what helps determine whether or not your horse is a quality animal to show. Because showing is a very big time-consuming sport, and is very expensive. It's not a cheap sport that you can just jump into 1 week out of a show. It takes years sometimes to train and get horses to the level of top quality show level showing. So yeah, really important. Do your research, work out whether your horse can cut it. Is it going to be a waste of time dragging it around the countryside, getting qualifications, getting to the big royals, and then not getting anything in return? So it's really important to work out whether or not your horse is a show horse. So yeah, it's really important. Sometimes, there'll be horses out there that you'll be showing and they're not going to be show horses, and it's soul crushing, it's sad, but you can find another purpose for them, or you can just have a great time doing low level showing, but those type of horses aren't going to make it at a royal show. So it's really important to nut out whether your horse is well it's got that confirmation that it's really well put together and it's gonna achieve in the show ring. So after all that's sorted, then you jump onto the performance periods. That's the next dot point. This is really important. You need to know your royal shows. If you're aiming for royal shows and all that jazz, it's really important that you do research. You go to each of their websites. So behind me on the computer, I have the Sydney Royal website up, and on the keynotes tab, they tell you. So every royal show has their own website, and they'll have all the information on there for everyone to access. If you can't find an answer to your question, contact them. They've got all their contact details on their website. You can email them, phone them, reach out, talk to them. Most of them have Facebook pages, so you can message them on Facebook. So reach out. If you can't find the answer, go and ask them and they'll let you know. But usually you find the performance period in the performance period tab on their website in the horse section, or you go to the schedule and it will tell you. There'll be a page on the schedule that'll tell you the performance period. So for example, going into 2021, the performance period, this is unusual. This is a much bigger performance period because of COVID-19. We lost a lot of shows last year. So the performance period for this year's Sydney Royal was Friday the 1st of December 2018, carried over to Wednesday the 25th of November 2020, and that's your performance period. So you tally up all your wins and achievements, and for your submissions to the Sydney Royal, that's when wins take into considerations. The wins before the 1st of December 2018, they're not involved whatsoever, null and void, not counted whatsoever. And after the 25th of November to now, that doesn't get counted either. So you've just got your set period of time that you go and accumulate all the achievements, wins, first place or reserves or champions, all that jazz. You accumulate all those wins in that period of time. That's your performance period. If you don't understand or know what a performance period is, that's what it is. Then of course, so you've got your horse, it's right to roll or it's not, you find one that is. Then you've got your performance period, you understand Sydney, Canberra, Melbourne, the Ekka, Brisbane Royal Show, all those shows, Darwin Royal, Perth, Adelaide, you work out the performance periods, and then you go, okay, I'm going to show this type of horse. Well, actually, in your performance period, I would research as well what performance you need for your type of horse, be it you know, a stock horse, a thoroughbred, a palomino, a Shetland. You go out riding pony, you know, there's all sorts of breeds of classes, quarter horse, yada yada yada. You, in the performance period research time frame, like you work out what you need for your breed classes. So for example, thoroughbred, I show thoroughbreds. For a lead class, you need three wins, first wins in a lead thoroughbred class, and then in the ridden thoroughbred classes you need 3 as well, and then in our open class, it's not a specific breed class, but our open hack class, you need 6 wins at the Sydney Royal. They vary, each show is different. From memory, the Canberra Royal was 4 open hack wins to put in for your entries for that show, but the same 3 lead ridden and 3 lead thoroughbred and 3 ridden thoroughbred wins for Canberra. So yeah, each show has their set performance period and performance requirements. So it's up to the rider, it's up to you to go and research and find out what you need performance period wise, when you can show to accumulate for the Royal Show, what classes you want to enter for that breed of horse that you have, and then what the performance requirements are for each of those classes, like how many wins you need for each of those classes. So that's up to you to go out and find out what you need there. So that's it. You need a horse that is correct for showing, you need your performance period, and then all the information in that, and then you need your shows to go out to achieve all these wins. So once you understand what you need to accumulate and what you need to gain, like how many wins, you map out your show run. That's really important. I've done a video, I'll leave a card up top, where I talk about mapping out your show year. So it's really important that you're on the ball, you understand, like, you know what Royal Show you want to aim for, so you know, get the time out, so you know what, you know, how many shows you need to get those wins to then be able to apply. So it's really important, don't just go, oh, I need 6 open wins, I'm just going to go to 6 shows. Don't do that. You're not going to win at every show. Some people do, but some people don't. So it's really important to have a really good bag of shows, you know, on your list of show runs to attend, just in case, just to have them up your sleeve as backups. Yeah, you might win 8 open wins, but it's really important to have those rather than just go, oh no, it's the end of the year and the performance period time frame and I've only got 5 wins, I need 6, or I've only got 4, I don't have any at all. So really important, guys, make sure you plan to have enough shows up your sleeve just in case. And you know, the more shows you go to, the more practice, the better and better you'll get, the more better the horse will get into the groove and all that jazz. So yeah, that's shows. And then achievements. So I've sort of jumped from shows straight into achievements, but yeah, so you tend to shows, you need to go to these shows to get your achievements because you need, you know, a minimum. Like the Royal shows will take 1, like depends on each Royal show, but they'll take 1 open hack, like an all breed show win for, you know, one of your hack classes, but the rest needs to be ag shows. So it's really important that you go to the ag shows, support your local ag shows, and be there and spend money like in the show ring and sideshow and the pavilions and all that jazz, help keep community going. But yeah, most importantly, you're going to ag shows to get those wins and achievements, because that's the only way you can do it. You've got to go to ag shows, agricultural shows. If you don't understand what ag shows mean, that's agricultural because it's where all the agricultural stuff comes together. So yeah, that's really important, that one, that you understand your performance requirements, that you attend your lists of shows and you get your achievements that you need to put forward when it comes to entry times for the Sydney Royal. Then with all that said, we jump into dot point number 5, and that is record book. If you don't know what this is, I'll leave a card up top. I've done a video on a record book, like, and explaining it. So the record book, just a real quick summary, is where you drop down. So this is my setup, 2020 performance records. I list out everything that look like our classes, lead hack gelding, lead thoroughbred gelding, ridden thoroughbred gelding, open hack, in our height, adult hack, ladies hack, lady rider, and then champion, and then reserve champion, because reserve champions are really good too, to help. So yes, you might get a second in a class, but then you can go and go, like, say second, you got a reserve champion open hack for your open hack class. Yes, you mightn't have 6, but you might have 5 wins and a reserve. That reserve, that is what you put forward, that'll help. And when you do put in your record, in performances, don't just put, so if you got first in open hack class but then you went on and win champion, don't put first, straight away put champion. I got champion in that class. Don't worry about saying, oh, I won first in that class. Just go, I got champion in that class. That's just yeah, that's just a quick gist of that there. So yeah, and then so each show, write the show name, vital show date, 8th of the 2nd 2020, and then I write out the classes, and then I write out the rings, and then who was the judge of each ring, because when it comes time to putting all this into the computer onto the entries system website, you need all this information. So it's really important to have a book and take it with you to the shows, and on the day of the show when everything happens, you jot everything down to keep it all journalized and logged, ready for come the end of the year when you have to log your entries. And it's really hard, it's really frustrating when you sit down, you get on the computer, and then you go, oh shit, what did I win? Did I have enough entries? That's also a key factor in my journal, or entries record book. So this is just a book I got from Kmart for like $4 when I first moved down to Central West New South Wales, and I tally everything. So for our open hack, we got 5. Last year, we ended up going to 6 shows, and we ended up getting 5 open hack wins, first places. So we were just one off having all our open wins for Sydney Royal, but because the performance year was pushed back to the end of 2018, all of 2019 was counted, and I got 6 wins in 2019. So yeah, that's that jazz there. So that helps me to, throughout the year, to stay on top of everything, going, all right, at this show, I need to enter this class. I will forget about entering this leads class because I've got plenty of lead wins. I'm going to focus on the writing, and I'm going to make sure I'm there on time, or I don't miss this writing class. And that's how that helps me stay on top of my game at shows. So that's really important as a show horse rider, to have a performance record book, because yeah, you need that come end of year to log all your entries, like your entries that you acquired through that performance period. You've got to put that all into the computer system to go, hey, Sydney Royal, look, I won all these places at the shows. I am eligible to apply to your showring event such and such because I have gained all these wins at the ag shows. So that's how that works. And then lastly, point number 6, and that is a laptop or a computer. Don't do your entries on your phone. That is really hard. I've never tried it, but I understand it's very hard from hearsay. There's just no point in doing it. Do it on your computer or your laptop. And so in this dot point, let's talk about 3 things. We need time, and lots of time for this. You can't do it real quick. It takes a lot of time to jot all those wins and everything into the system. And then it also helps, before you do your entries, become a member, because you get your members discount. So from roughly the class was like $55 a class at Sydney Royal for my entries, but if I wasn't a member, it'd be $75 a class. So it's really important, if you're really serious about, and you need to save money, become a member. That really helps you out with your entries. And then, so that's number 3 of the quick dot point in this dot point. And then the third one is money. Make sure you've got enough funds. Do the maths. Make sure you've got enough funds to apply for the Sydney Royal, because it cost me around $400 for 8 classes, I think. For Teddy and I did order a magazine, so that's like the big catalogue, real big, everything's in that, and you listed and whoever else is in your class, all that jazz. I don't think there was anything else cost-wise, but that was the rough gist of the cost of entries. So yeah, definitely have enough time. Do not sit down 5 minutes or half an hour before you got to go to work. No, do it after work when you got a couple of hours to sit there and log everything through, and then you're cool, you're not stressed. Don't leave till the last minute as well. Make sure you do it a week or 2 before the entry closing date. Make sure you understand those dates as well, because they're really important. So for example, for going into 2021 Sydney Royal, you keep an eye on their website, and when you're a member, they email you and update you, but you stay on top of the dates. They will let you know, or on their website it'll say the entry's opening date for the breeds and hack classes and all that, and then they'll go the closing date. So the closing date for coming into this year was December the 21st. So really important, don't leave it to the last day, because if there's a computer glitch or your Wi-Fi issue, it just creates a big stressful situation. So definitely do it a couple of days before closing date, or definitely a week or 2 before, or as soon as entries open, log them through, get over and done with. And yeah, so make sure you got the time, make sure you got the money to fund the entries, and then make sure you're a member. I highly recommend it. Definitely do that. All right, so once everything has all been logged, so we'll quickly dabble. I'll quickly just talk about what. So for the classes, so for last year, what you need to put through on the website. So it's a big column, like run along with lots of things you need to put through. So you need to put the horse's name, and then, well, you need to register your horse with Sydney Rural, and then through their nominate website and whatnot. And then once that was all set up and sorted, you need to you need to select the class you're applying for, and then you need to put in your performances for that class. And that's like, I got a first lead thoroughbred gelding at Rydal Show. I went on to reserve champion lead thoroughbred gelding. So I put in reserve champion lead thoroughbred gelding, Rydal Show, the date, the judge's name, how many were in that class. You got to take note of all that, and you got to put all that through for those entries. And you do that for every class. So I had to do it for the lead thoroughbred class, ridden thoroughbred class, our open hack class, the ladies hack class, my rider classes. So yeah, it's really important. And yeah, just quickly, so rider class, you only need 3 wins, 3 first wins at an ag show in your rider age class. So yeah, it's very time consuming at the end of the day when it comes to logging your performance period. And sometimes it'll time out if you just wander away, it'll time out. So it's like you get distracted and have to go cook dinner or something, and you're halfway through, it'll time out, and you got to do it all over again. So it's really important. Sit down, stay focused, leave everyone, friends, kids, family, everyone's got to leave you alone for a good hour or two, just so you can get everything on there and sorted. So that's that, guys. But just quickly, so I have a color coordinated folders. My pink one is for the Sydney Royal, my purple one is for the Canberra Royal, and yeah, that's as far as I've got so far. I haven't been able to get to the Ekka or Melbourne thanks to COVID, but you know, that's life. But these are really important. You need these with you come show day. These are a godsend. So when you go get measured and whatnot, your horse gets measured officially. Like I've got Teddy's identification, like his ANSA membership. There's some old show cards I've got there, pen. And then, so in here, this is my 2019, like this is your membership. This is what your membership will come in. And you get a card and your name's on it and blah, blah. That's your membership information. I have all my acceptance letters. These are from 2019. The animal registration thing that I got. It's a little chip that you put on the horse's halter. So my performance acceptance letter for 2019. My stabling form. Then I had to withdraw because Teddy cut his leg really bad. So withdrawal form, and then the check with our refund. So yeah, I've just got it all in one spot. But then I've got ours for this year. So, well, yeah, coming into 2021. So that's my membership in there, and then those letters from last year when they cancelled 2020. So yeah, I leave everything all in this. So when I go to get measured, I just take this with me zipped up so nothing falls out. And if they need information, and I haven't got Teddy's racing card, his identification card. So I just print out off the Australian Stud Book website, all the markings and all that, and then I can go here, this is my horse, the microchip and everything's all there, and I have it in this bag. And yeah, that's all you need when it comes to getting all the information for Sydney Royal, and a performance record book, your folder to keep everything in. So this book goes in that folder when we head to the show, so I can record the Royal Show achievements there and that as well. Yeah, alright guys, lots of talking, there's a lot to go through. I hope you found this video very helpful. Please give us a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. I will leave in the description down below, I'll leave the link to the Sydney Royal, and you can go check out their website. They're very, very helpful, the Sydney Royal. They do an amazing job. Of course, it's Sydney Royal, how could they not? But they're very helpful, the team, the people when you talk to them, the office, they're beautiful, they're lovely, and they do an amazing job. Thank you so much to everyone at Sydney Royal that puts all this amazing effort in to pull off such an amazing show for us people to attend with our beautiful horses. Okay, so this is part 1 of my 2-part series on the Sydney Royal performance process. So this is it. That's you know, applying. This is all this necessity stuff for applying for the Sydney Royal. So stay tuned for my next video where I talk about my acceptance letter and the results and what to do after you get your acceptance letter. Alright guys, good luck with all your horse riding adventures. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!